Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the post-race press conference here at the PT Grand Prix of Thailand, the Chang International Circuit here in Buriram. What a start to 2026 it has been here this weekend in front of a record crowd, a weekend crowd of over 228,000 fans. An incredible sprint yesterday, a really dramatic Grand Prix here today, won by Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi. Congratulations to Marco, the first rider in history to win 3 successive Grand Prix for Aprilia. An unbelievable weekend for Red Bull KTM factory racing rider Pedro Acosta, winning that epic sprint yesterday, second in the Grand Prix today. Pedro for the first time leading the Motogp World Championship. And from the front row, a double podium as well for Trackhouse Racing's Raul Fernandez. On the podium in the sprint yesterday, third in today's Grand Prix. Gentlemen, congratulations. Well done to all three of you. Marco, we'll start the press conference with you. That was a very tough, a very long race, but you got the job done. A dominant victory, making up for the disappointment of yesterday's crash in the sprint. First rider in Aprilia history to win 3 successive Grand Prix. Bounce back Bez was on top form today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was super important after the mistake from yesterday to try to have a good one today and try to bounce back in the best way possible. Of course, I knew that with the medium for the longer distance I was quite strong, but it's never easy, you know. So yeah, I just tried to start in the best way possible, and when I was in front, I tried to put a small gap at the beginning, managing the tire. Here the wear of the rear tire is super high, so wasn't easy, but I felt good through all the race. So very happy. The guys made a wonderful job, so thanks to them.
Just talk to us about this current spell that you're having with Aprilia right now. As I just mentioned, you're the first Aprilia rider in history to win 3 successive Grand Prix, Portimao and Valencia last year, and now here this weekend in Buriram. 4 Aprilias finished today's Grand Prix in the top 5, the first time since Silverstone in 2021. There's no Ducati on the podium. Are we seeing maybe a changing of the guard, and just how phenomenal is the job that Aprilia and yourself are doing right now?
Well, for sure, Aprilia made a good job this winter. They've been working super hard through all the break to try to bring us some important items to try. Of course, this was important, but I have to say that it's also very early to say this. At the end, only one race. The championship is very long, so let's try to keep ourselves calm. Focus, always super hungry to try to make the best every weekend that we can, and yeah, just this.
Marco, huge congratulations to you and to Aprilia on today's victory. We'll come on then to second place, a very hard-earned second place for Red Bull KTM factory racing rider Pedro Acosta. Pedro, almost the perfect weekend as far as you're concerned, winning that fantastic sprint yesterday. Second today after a real strong fight with Marc once again and Jorge Martin. You're leading the World Championship going into Brazil next time out. What a way to start the season.
Yeah, super nice to start the season in that way. I remember last year that here even we were suffering to be inside the top 10 for this. KTM is making a really nice job. It's true that they are 100% pushing to give me slightly improves during whole winter to try to survive a bit more in the races, you know, and looks like we found something. It's true that still way to go. Not every GP will be that nice like that one, but we are working quite okay in the box for this. We have to keep calm and keep in this way.
We're just seeing on screens again, turn 12 has been some story this weekend between you and Marc Marquez. Another great fight with Marc today, just like it was in the sprint yesterday. A great battle as well with Marco's teammate Jorge Martin. We know how much you love these close battles. You're a proper fighter. I'm sure under the helmet there you had a big smile on your face, didn't you?
Yeah, I enjoy like in my Moto3 days, you know, that I was normally making that overtakes. I don't know, I'm in a really good moment, enjoying every time, like you say, with the battle today with Jorge for this. We have to keep like this. Let's try to make like Marco maybe that he just pull away and not make these messy battles. But anyway, we have to keep going.
Just quickly, Pedro, you talked about some of the problems that the KTM had last year with the rear tyre life in the long race. Today was a real difficult race, super hot conditions. As you mentioned yourself, it's tough for the rear tyre, so a real good indication of just how much progress you've made in terms of the endurance. Do you feel that you've made a clear step in that area?
Yeah, it's true that, like I say, we have to anyway keep working in other areas, you know, because you can see that Aprilia and Ducati is still being super fast in time attacks, and this will make our life quite more easy, you know. It's true that we are not so bad like last year, like I say, in time attacks also, but still way to go.
A great weekend for you and the team. You are the first KTM rider ever to lead the Motogp World Championship. Congratulations once again to you, Pedro. We'll come on then finally to Raul Fernandez. It's been a fantastic start of 2026 for Raul and the Trackhouse team. Raul, front row, podiums in the sprint and the Grand Prix. It was hard work. You had the problems physically this morning, time management as well to deal with. So a fantastic way for you to start the new season.
Yeah, well, today for me was a really nice race. I have a small deja vu from Valencia when I was second and Marco was first. I tried to close the gap with Marco, but also I tried to save well the tire, because yesterday we saw that we had a quite higher consume of the rear tire, especially on the straight, and I try until the end, and yeah, the thing is, for some reason, both of them managed better the rear tire than me. In the last 3-4 laps, I had a lot of spin on the straight. I tried to survive, but it was the thing from Chang, no? Anyway, I feel good with the bike. I think we start so well the season. Now I think I am better rider, because in the difficult moment I feel very calm on the box, and it means that everybody work better, and yeah, of course we try. We don't get this second place because I think Marco today was in another level, but yeah, Pedro also saved better the tire than us. We have to learn for the future.
2025 finished really strongly for you. You won in Phillip Island. As you just mentioned, you had a real close battle with Marco in Valencia. You've now started 2026 with a double podium, Aprilia looking in fantastic shape. Do you feel now that we're going to see Raul Fernandez consistently in this podium battle? Do you feel like you're ready to take that step on a regular basis?
Hopefully yes, but we don't really think that we are a title contender, so it means that our goal has to be on top 8 during all the year. In the difficult race we have to be there, and if we have the possibility, of course I will try. If we get, I will be happy. If not, I will try for sure. Anyway, I think Davide make a super good crew on the team, because if you see 2 years ago the team was quite difficult to see the people happy, and now everybody is happy. Everybody work on the same way. We know that still Ducati have a great rider. Marco and Pedro also are great riders, and we are right at our best level. Still, I don't have everything under control with this bike, but we are on the way to get what I want on the bike.
3 great riders on the podium today and a great show all weekend. Guys, well done. Congratulations once again. Time now, please, for questions from the media. Thank you.
Hello, gentlemen. Frank Goyenk here on your left. Marco, hi. A question for you and one for Pedro. Marco, yesterday you said when you start the race, you have to be on the limit. Now, clearly today you were on the limit. Were you, because of what happened yesterday, was there any thought in your mind, okay, maybe I start a little bit more quiet than yesterday, or did you have the absolute trust that it was possible to make that gap so early in the race?
Well, of course, I had to manage with the tire. This race, the longer race, was super tough. Was going to be super tough. So the mindset has to be different from the sprint. But my strategy was to try to start as strong as I could, to be leading the first lap at least, and try to put a gap. And then, of course, try to manage. Wasn't easy because. In this track, if you warm the tire, then it's super tough to get the temperature going low again, almost impossible. So to push without forcing too much on the rear wasn't easy, but fortunately everything was alright, so the strategy was good.
And could you tell us whether it was difficult to stay calm after what happened yesterday? Quiet? To stay quiet after the race, after yesterday's race?
Turn 8. Turn 8.
Turn 8. Okay.
Where I crashed yesterday.
Oh, that's stay calm. Okay.
No, but everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And my question to you, Pedro, you're leading the championship. Like you said, it's a big difference compared to last year. Yesterday, you said it was my most beautiful race in my MotoGP career. Maybe today you even showed more because you came from P6. How did today feel if you compare it to yesterday?
Well, quite happy also today, you know, at the end. We keep going the same way than last year, trying to don't make mistakes, even today that the start was not great, and also the first laps I was not that much in the front compared yesterday. I was able more or less to manage the front tire and keep going with our strategy to don't make mistakes. That was quite important today.
Hi, Dimitris Diatsidis from Cosmote TV Greece. I start with you, Marco. At the time that you had 5 seconds difference, or you have more than 3 seconds difference than the second one, you were thinking that maybe it's the time to slow down a little in order not to overheat the tire, as you said in the beginning?
Well, of course, I wanted to manage a bit, but in this kind of situation it's also very easy to make mistakes. If you lose the concentration when you are riding alone, it's very, very easy to make mistakes. So it's tough it was tough because of this. So I was, of course, trying to manage a lot, trying to don't destroy the tires, but also trying to ride in the best way possible, staying focused all the time to don't make any mistakes.
Thank you. Pedro, you said before 2 days that the main problem is in the beginning of the race to use the new tire. Last year, the main problem was the tires in the last part of the race. So are you sure that you solved that problem and created the other with the tire new?
No, I mean, last year the problem was everywhere. It was not only at the end of the races. The only thing that we suffered much more. But I mean, we know that even myself, I struggle normally to make a fast lap, and also in the first laps of the race, I'm not super fast, let's say, or I'm not in a time attack mode. But looks like we improved the life of the tire. Let's see how we'll be in other tracks in Europe and even in Brazil. But looks like we are managing better. Somehow also the box is working better.
Yeah, hi, Adam Wheeler. Pedro, do you feel you're getting better as a MotoGP rider in terms of what you're doing, your technique? If so, how?
Yeah, for sure. I'm making less mistakes than 2 years ago or even last year, you know. Last year when I was even more at the beginning of the year, I was getting quite, not nervous, but when the situation was not under control, I was always making mistakes or crashing or going wide or whatever, and was not maybe the way to build confidence, you know. Now maybe I'm in a more chill mode, let's say, and even when the bad moments come, I'm more, I use more the brain, let's say, for this. Maybe this is the biggest difference.
Hi, Rachit from motorsport.com. Question to Pedro. On Thursday, you said that your goal is to finish inside the top 5 every weekend, not that you finish first and second on a track that hasn't traditionally suited the KTM. Do you feel it's time to raise your goals for this season?
Sorry?
Do you feel it's now time to raise your targets for this season?
I don't understand.
Your personal targets for this season?
No, no target.
Do you think, you said on Thursday that your target was to finish every week inside the top 5, but now you've had this weekend's results, do you feel that you can perhaps change those targets and perhaps be a little bit higher?
No,
I think that was that the question you was, yeah.
Target is still the same. Not make mistakes.
Imre Pavlovic from Motorsport Aktuell. Question to Pedro. Pedro, you had battles with Marc on the Ducati. You had battles with the Aprilias. Could you explain where you found advantages and disadvantages of your KTM compared to these two bikes?
Well, at the end, we know that looks like this year our top speed is not great compared, like you said, Ducati and Aprilia. And I'm struggling a lot in the first two sectors of the track. It's true that then, since I come to Thailand, even in the other categories, I was having always a fast T4, and there is the only places that I was able to overtake, you know, because then you have this last breaking point, and was my only card in the pocket that I was able to use for this. I was just trying to maintain the space and then try to attack them.
Marco, Pedro, Raul, congratulations. Once again, it's time now to head from Buriram to Brazil. We'll see you guys in 3 weeks' time. Thank you.